I'm Paul Foxcroft, this is Questing Time, and you're watching episode 13, part 3. The players have recently learned they're trapped on the elemental plane of air, an enormous, endless space with nothing but sky, with occasional islands of floating rocks, storms, or weird, sky stuff. Look up. It's like that, but more. I'm assuming you're watching this outside. The players have met and rescued two planar adventurers, Rosenstern and Gildenkrantz, who are explaining to them how the planes work. The players are kind of picking it up. And one of the things about the plane of air is, if you decide that up is down, you will fall upwards. So you can fall with intent. Armed with almost all of that knowledge, Matt Highton has thrown his character off the edge of the world, assuming he'll work it out on the way down. Let's find out how he does.
How are you going to get out of here?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't just stay on this rock for the rest of eternity.
We'll fly to our next thing.
Right, well, are you feeling strong?
You want us to carry you? No, you don't have to. No, have you not worked out the... Just fall.
Oh, right.
Well,
And with that I go...
Just to be clear, Matt, just on the floor or off the edge?
I want to say edge. I think I've got the hand of the mechanics. Just got to think it through. Up is down, down is up. Got it.
Great. So, as you're doing that,
Oh my god.
neither of them notice. So bear with me a second. They're just like, yeah. So the way it works is like down, up, and down. Direction is subjective. So
Objective.
what you want to do is did your cat just base jump?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please
because I
say
was about to explain how this process worked, but never
Okay.
mind. Do you mind? And the bird lady's like, I don't, and just dives off after him. So what I was saying to you three is it's subjective. So what you want to do is decide where you want to go, make it clear in your mind that that's where down is, and then fall in that direction. And then before you get there, decide that the other way is down. Otherwise, you will slam into your destination and die.
I
It's
had that before I went. I knew it.
Right, in which case, if direction is purely subjective, there must be a direction that we need. Like, the cage can't exist infinitely in every direction. There must actually be a direction.
No, and it can. So all right, if you're looking at it that way, then the cage doesn't exist on this plane, but it exists outside of it. So I know this is a lot to take in. It's day one.
We need to find a plane walker to get out of the cage.
How can I put this in terms that you would understand as a prime? Imagine a pair of shoes, and you're in one of the shoes, and there's no way to get to the other shoe, and that's where you want to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We
We need to crawl up a leg.
From the ground, you can just hear a small whimper.
What ground? Oh, from down there. Cool.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Matt, you, can you make a perception check, please, Matt?
Always.
You can have advantage.
Oh, nice. I got 15 first time. And 11 the second time, plus 2, 17.
Okay. Great. So you just fall. I'm curious, what are you thinking right now?
I'm just
You fall past the rock, the sort of inverse mountain that you guys are currently stood on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give
And
you
I'm
a
just
random.
waiting for something to come towards me so I can think to slow at the right time.
Okay, cool.
I'm all instinct here.
Great. Nothing is happening.
Finding ground.
Great. you've you managed to with that perception check, you can clock a few things. You can see off into the distance in one direction. I'm not going to say right or left because that seems subjective. You can see a thick, like probably a storm, but it's coming at you at like 90 degrees.
Okay.
Like, so you can see like lightning flashes and whatnot, but you have clouds sort of lay out like that on Earth. These clouds are at 90 degrees. You can also see further away from that, you can see what appears to be it's very far away, so it's just like motes of light, but you can see what appears to be an enormous crystal castle, also in free fall. Like, it's moving relatively quickly, but it's moving at like 45 degrees and going upwards, but falling that way.
Okay.
You can definitely make out in the middle distance a dragon, or at least his silhouette, flying its way through the plane, and a few little more hovering islands of things. And what looks like it might be an airship in the middle distance. More relevantly, as you look back up, you can see this bird person, an Aarakocra, for those of us questioning it, flying towards you, like wings folded behind her back in a full tilt dive. You can also, behind her, see some figures sort of falling towards, like Fortnite, falling towards the island the others are on.
Ooh.
But you're far too far away to alert the rest of them. With that perception, you can just hear the bird person shouting, "For the love of God, spread your arms!" You're like...
Okay, so I banana, like as if, yeah, and then I sort of think,
just like, "Oh no!" and then she slams into you and grabs you.
And then we look at each other and we do Point Break, even though she doesn't get the reference. I go, "No, you pull yours!" And I'm just laughing. I'm laughing a lot.
Right, lovely stuff. Welcome back to Questing Time, the planar edition of what I suspect is now the most confusing D&D game available on Twitch. The players have been dealing with the fact that they're trapped on the elemental plane of air for the time being, with almost none of the references required to survive. So, currently, the three of Richard, Rufus, Briony, your characters, Hardcore, the Rough Knight, and Claire are currently stood next to a massive orb of earth that has slammed into the floor. Chatting with a part angel, part human entity that is convinced it's its own deity. Whereas Matt Phillin has jumped off of a floating rock in the center of just an enormous expanse of sky and is falling very rapidly into the blue, where you've been caught by a hawk bird person and are being flown back up. You have seen a number of figures, a handful of figures, falling towards the floating island, the moat of Earth that you are currently on. So, we find you guys atop of this moat of Earth. Phillin is flown back by... which one is that?
That was Golden Pence. Gideon Krantz.
By Gildan Krantz. I need to put a bookmark on that page now. And so yes, Phillin's on his way. But you're probably about a minute away from being flown back, I should imagine.
Okay.
So the rest of you guys, what were we chatting about?
Well, you were explaining how to fly.
Yep. So basically you change your mind about what down is, and then you fall towards an object, and then you change your mind again at the last second before you slam into it and die. Most people get around on this plane.
Oh.
Right, well, only one way to find out if we've understood that. Who's with me?
Sure. I mean, do you want to pick a destination first, or are you just going to try it out here?
Well, it looks like there's plenty of room out there. I was just going to jump off and then try and imagine that this was down again and come straight back.
Sure, but why not just, rather than jumping off, why not just imagine that that's down?
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I just immediately fly off into the air.
Make a wisdom saving throw. So make a wisdom check. Not a saving throw, a wisdom check.
It's not good, kids. It's not good. It's 7.
So you look up at the sky and go, yeah, yeah, and jump a little bit, and then jump again. And nothing changes for you. It's like,
Great.
yeah, it's a hard thing to wrap your head around if you're used to down always being, down.
I stand on my head.
Sorry?
I do a headstand.
Sure. Briony, you can try.
Yeah.
Just a wisdom roll.
6.
Likewise. So now a couple of you are just jumping up and down in the dirt. Rufus, you're upside down, but you can try again.
I'm going to try again. 19 plus 1, rough 20.
Yeah, you do a handstand and launch into the sky.
I get up there a bit.
Yeah.
I get there a bit, and then I imagine that the rock is actually down. I go into a tuck, and I
make a wisdom save. Make a wisdom roll to change your subjective gravity again.
Okay. 12 plus 1, 13.
If you've made it, it's close. Let me double check.
Tricky.
Yes, it is. I'm afraid you haven't, as you fly off further into space.
Okay.
There is a sense of mild panic now.
Do I see this from the distance?
Yep. The angels think, I'll be back any moment now. Any moment. Turn it around, buddy.
Can you go get him? Do you know what I think? I think
no, he has to learn himself. Would you like to make another roll? Rufus, would you like to make another roll?
I would, but I just want to be very clear about this. This is the mechanic that we're using for flying, is that we have to imagine that one way is down, roll, get over the right roll, then
roll to convince yourself.
Find the ground, imagine the other way is up, roll that, and then very, very quickly imagine down is down again, so we're only falling from a distance of 3 feet.
Yes, you're making this more difficult than it is, Rufus.
No, he's accurate. I'll say this: the mechanics get easier the more practice your characters have.
Okay.
I think also we could do it by holding hands, and then only one of us has to roll well, because then they can keep the others up.
Well, we just be in mutually opposite.
This is not a conversation you two can currently have.
No.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk to Reverend.
Oh, natural 20.
I'm not listening.
Great. So you get hold of yourself, focus, and convince yourself down is back the way you came. You slow to a stop, and there's a wonderful moment of weightlessness, and then you start falling again. Because momentum is not a myth. Briony, do you want to try again while this is going on, or do you want to wait for Rufus to?
I'm going to put a bedroll out under where he's falling, just in case that helps.
Sure. And as you're doing that, Phillin and Guildenstern, Guildenstance, arrive.
Could I try and make me land myself? I think I had this, and then I'm gonna try and do the landing from a bit above.
Sure.
I think I've got it.
I've got 11 on my second wisdom roll.
Nope, you don't. You don't go anywhere. Matt, what did you get?
I rolled a 20.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've had Matt. You have rolled the 2 times you've attempted to roll. You've had 2 consecutive successes. You now don't have to roll to do this.
Oh, absolute natural.
Right?
Agent of chaos.
2 consecutive successes, and you get it. Meanwhile, however, Ruff, from your position over the group now, you've got quite a good view. So you're looking down at this orb, and you can see the ruins of the castle near it. You can see the sort of grassy area off to the side, and you can see 5 figures making their way towards the party from that grassy area. Blades drawn. One of them is making its way in. So you've got 3 figures who are humanoid, with like pale blue skin, You've got one figure who is wearing a cloak, and it's hard to tell, but he's like medium sized, like the size of a normal human. Another figure is, how I put it, like badly animated. Like it's walking towards the group, but there's gaps. So it walks a couple of feet, then it vanishes and appears a couple of feet ahead of where it was.
Right.
And then vanishes and appears like it's walking, but it's sort of like leapfrogging through the space a bit. No faster than the rest, I might make. Sorry?
It's like Tracer from Overwatch.
Actually, yeah, it is, but it's better voiced. Big fan of Tracer, do not like the voice.
What is it about someone who's not a Cockney doing that sort of chirpy voice?
The voice actor is English though, and it's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest bad Cockney voice in a game that's really quite good at voice talent. Like, it's such a weird choice. It's not. I'm going to put this. It's not on the voice actor either. It's the director. The directors have made really weird choices with that. Anyway,
have you watched any of the shorts, the animated Overwatch shorts?
All of them.
They're all brilliant.
They're all great. Would you like to roll to not slam into the ground?
No, what I would like to do is this. Here's what I'm going to try and do, because I don't know that I am or I'm not able of getting the hang of this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now imagine that Down is directly on top of that wizard. The one in the cloaks. I'm just assuming he's a wizard, right?
Sure.
Now here's what I'm going to try and do.
In your spiked armour.
In my spiked armour.
Mm-hmm.
Phillin gets the gig here. I'm going to imagine that Down is directly on top of that wizard, and then before I hit the ground, imagine that the exact opposite direction is down. So essentially what I want to do is slam into the wizard, but before I slam into the ground, go immediately in the opposite direction. Like a sort of spiked bungee jumping ball.
Okay. Sure.
I'm going to give him Bardic Inspiration.
You have no idea he's doing this.
Damn it.
Because he has not communicated to you the threat or his intent to attack.
But it's so cool.
But you know what you could do, Briony? As you're looking up at him, you could give him Bardic Inspiration to not slam into the ground.
Yeah.
And he can use it for whatever he likes. So, Rufus, you have a D6 in your pocket you can add to any roll you please.
Lovely.
As you're all looking up at Rufus, or Ruff, I should say, from behind you, through this sort of like little bits of trees and tall grass, you see a couple of figures step out of the grass, blades drawn. This guy with a hood throws the hood back, revealing like ice white skin. What's the word I'm looking for? Like functionally empty eye sockets. And his hair is just like constantly billowing. You know, like dry ice. It's just gas. His hair is gaseous.
Oh, we like a gassy one. We got some puns ready for that guy.
And he's that one just shouts in this language from earlier on, and points. And as he does that, he points at he shouts something you don't make out what he says. None of you speak Auran. But he points at the Frost Giant's hand, and you can see he's wearing a chain with the same symbol on it.
Oh.
And then, as that happens, he points, shouts something, the other figure's tense, and then a dwarf hits him.
A spiked dwarf hits him, please.
A spiked dwarf. Give me. So, Rufus, would you like to make a wisdom save to not just slam into the floor and die?
Yes. Can I please use my inspiration to roll this with advantage?
You absolutely can, and that is a good use of inspiration.
Thanks. Okay. Well, my best was a 12, but I'm now going to roll the d6 to add to that.
Yep.
So 14.
14, you have just done it. So here's the thing. I'm going to let you choose your velocity. So you can basically make a free attack against this wizard using your weapon, and you can add up to add XD6 to the damage, but you take XD6 worth of damage.
Okay.
Right? You get to gamble.
So are you going to roll my damage and I'll roll the damage that I inflict?
Yes. So you could add 10d6 of extra damage to this guy, but then I roll 10d6 of damage to you because it's the impact that's doing it rather than you attacking him.
All right, well, let's play the maths.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh.
Trust your instincts. You know it to be true.
What do I believe? I believe that the average of any dice roll is 3. I've got
That's correct. The average of any dice roll is 3.
Of any 6-sided dice roll is 3.
But I love the idea, like 10d6. I'll let it take 3 damage.
I've got 25 hit points. So that would be 24 would be 8.
8, yeah.
Let me just look up the overkill rules.
So, bearing in mind that there's still going to be fighting to do, I would like to roll 4d6, please.
Fucking hell! Okay, cool. Sure. You've already rolled to hit him, as far as I'm concerned. So, pick a weapon of yours to base this attack damage on.
I'm just going with gravity and spikes.
Okay, so your spike damage is 1d4 plus your strength modifier, and then an extra 4d6 on top of that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to roll these d6 for that. Right. Oh, the first 2 are a 9.
Great.
And the next 2 are 7.
Cool. So in total that is
16.
plus d4 plus your strength modifier.
Plus d4
Triangle.
is 2. Plus my strength modifier is 5. Plus 7. So 16 plus 7 is 23.
23 damage. Great. He is knocked back. Falls on the ground behind him. Is like clearly quite badly injured. And it just looks as far as a thing with no eyeballs can, looks absolutely terrified. Like just out of it. Just completely out of it. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news, sure.
Sure, 20 damage.
Oh, hell.
I got 2 6s.
Oh my gosh.
As they hit, by the way, I look to the angel and go, I'm guessing he wasn't expecting that.
Okay, and now it is time for initiative, please.
Oh my god.
Oh god. 2. 18.
16.
17.
Oh, that wasn't good news, Heaven. I was just digging around. Sorry, Matt, your initiative, please.
16.
Rich?
17.
Right.
18. It's like we're counting.
And Rufus? Remind you, roll twice. Keep the best one.
Oh.
You've got a weapon of warning.
Oh, yeah. 19.
16, 17, 18, and 19. That should unlock something, but it doesn't.
Oh, man.
So
Lemons all round.
And then...
Wait. Spells.
What did you say, Brian?
Okay, so, Rufus, you're up first in the actual round of combat. You are next to this wizard-looking guy, next to one of the thugs with weird and pale skin, and you can also see that weird sort of like glitching thing, which from this angle you can see it's wearing like how do I put it, robes, and it has a hood up, but there's like where you would expect there to be a person, there is a void. Like it's like coherent darkness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like a creature of shadow, but shadow with substance.
Yeah. The guy that I just knocked backwards.
Yes.
That's on the ground.
Yep.
Is he like spark out?
No. He's on it. In fact, actually, as a reaction, he's cast shield on himself.
Is there a visible signifier that he's done that I would pick up on?
Yeah, as he's falling to the ground, does something with his hands, says something, and you see a shimmery sort of force field appear around him.
Okay. Well, I'm going to rage.
Entirely reasonable. Amazed that didn't happen on the way down.
Yeah, I suppose that would have been a good idea, wouldn't it?
it would have halved that damage.
Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, no, nothing. I was going to make a shit joke, and even as I was trying to get the joke out, my brain was going, yeah, why didn't you just rage you hearing it? I'm talking myself.
To be fair, if you had raged, I imagine you would have shouted. It would have very much spoiled the surprise.
Yeah.
Because this just like, if you imagine this cinematically, imagine this villain turning up in these sort of like dark grey robes with this like pallid sort of like icicle version Darth Vader vibe with his troops being like, behold, I have arrived from the smack, and just something from out of frame slams into him.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Would the damage from falling be falling damage or impact damage?
It's bludgeoning.
Oh, it would count as bludgeoning, would it? Oh, shit. I just thought I was about to be like really clever and go, yeah, well, actually, it only works on bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So,
if you want me to insist that rage is less helpful, sure.
Only if you've raged poorly. Well, look, I'm going to land and leap at the. I'm going to grapple the glitchy one.
Sure.
Grappling.
Sure. Okay. Make an attack roll, please.
Ooh, 21.
21. Great.
Yeah.
You managed to grapple it. You leap across the gap between the two of you, and wrap your arms around it and wrestle it to the ground.
Yeah.
Can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Strength saving throw?
Not a saving throw, a strength roll, please. Just strength roll. Can I do that?
Do I have my strength modifier?
You do.
Unbelievably, I've rolled exactly the same. It's rolled another 16 with my +5 is 21.
You've got +5 strength. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
That's what it says on my D&D Beyond. Oh no, +3.
Raging.
This happens every time.
Yeah, you're raging and it's fine. You've succeeded. My point is you've wrestled this guy to the ground and are holding him in place. Great. Next up, Briony, it is your turn.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Yes.
While I'm grappling in spiked armor, I do inflict some damage.
You do. It is 1d4. I'll take care of that over here. 4. Nice. He only takes 2 of that though, but never mind. Briony.
So, I think they look icy cold, and they're with the ice giant. So, I think I have a scroll which is all fiery.
You do.
I'm going to use my fiery scroll.
Excellent. You need to make a fireball is an arcane spell. You're a bard, and bards don't get fireball on the spell list. So to use the scroll, you need to make an Arcana check to use it correctly. And who is at the set? Who are you? Who do you want to target with it? The wizard, because it's an area of effect.
Okay, so
Or do you just want to get as many of them as you can?
As many as I can, but airing a little bit away from Ruff, whichever one Ruff is grappling with.
I see you've learned since the last character you had who cast fireball at her feet, because it would definitely get all the bad guys.
To be fair, I have during this adventure also shattered the stuff above us that mainly hurt us.
Yep.
I'm trying to learn.
So make an Arcana check, please, Briony.
And in fact, Claire says, I'm trying to learn.
That's your battle cry.
Natural 20!
Come on!
I didn't
Right.
put it in the camera.
You whip the scroll out and start reciting the text from it. Because you're a bard, you recite the text as if it's lyrics, or you're doing a sort of poetry reading at a dreadful club in Hoxton back when they existed. And you fire a fireball off. You conjure in front of you a little mote of flame, which vibrates with potential and jets across the surface of this floating mountain, and then explodes in, I think it's a 20-foot radius. You can catch 3 of them. So do you want to catch the three? Do you want to catch the three thugs, or 2 thugs and the wizard?
2 thugs and a wizard, please.
Okay, they get to make dex saves, and that's their thing they're good at. Oh shit! One of them isn't. Okay, so the wizard has made his dexterity save, so he takes half damage. The thugs, however, have both failed their dexterity saves. Please roll 8d6 damage.
Why? No, that's a lot of maths.
Put in the amazing Claire.
189. How many of these? I've got
8.
12 and I'm on 4.
Okay.
So 4, 16, 5, 21. So I got 2 more to roll. 6. What is that? 27.
27.
6. 20. Oh no, I can do this. 33.
Fucking
Nice.
hell.
Oh my gosh, that was hard work.
Ooh.
Okay, so hang on. Right, so the two thugs that you hit with that, both are just like, because they're different characters. One of them is just ash in the wind. Now he's just incinerated by this spell. Another one is just screaming and running around in flames and locks eyes on you and starts running towards you, but he's very injured. The wizard is wait, hang on, let me just double check something. 33, half of 33 is 15, and half of 15 is... Okay, the wizard just stands up and is lightly patting out he was at the centre of this thing and is lightly patting out the flames on his robes. At which point it's then the turn of the glitch, which as a bonus action is going to use Misty Step or an equivalent to just vanish Rufus from your arms,
Right.
and to appear next to Rich. It appears behind you. What is your armor class, please?
Again, it's a 21, but I think we decided that was.
That's a glitch. It's
wrong.
20.
It's 20. Okay.
No, I think it's sorry. It's light. It's
Not
19.
19,
I need to edit that. The magic item. It's got a double bonus in there. Regardless, I've got 25 to hit you with, so that works.
Don't get impaled.
Also, because it's appeared behind you, it's a sneak attack, so this is going to sting. As what it does is, it just does that with its hand, and just stabs you with this. It looks like, imagine the opposite of the universe. So imagine it's a person-shaped universe. Like it's just like made of star stuff. There's little tiny motes of light in it. It's just darkness, and it has no face. It's just this sort of flat orb. Oh no, this could have been much worse. It rolled quite bad.
Rich, you get impaled anymore. We're going to start calling you Hardcastle the Impaled.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for subbing, Dark Mouse. So it's done 2 damage with its actual attack. Sorry, it's adding 3 to that. 5 damage with its actual attack. And then its sneak attack adds. What was that? 5. We're up to 10. We're up to 14. No, 15 damage all up. And this is, if it makes any difference, this is cold. Are you wearing the Ring of Warmth?
Yes,
I am.
This is cold damage, and you take half of it. So you take 8 damage instead of 15.
Oh my god! Thank God. Okay.
Some Hardcastle on the cob.
That was its first attack, and its second doesn't penetrate the armor. If it stab you once and then try and smack you on the side of the head and you twist so it clips the helmet, and now it is your turn.
Stab me once. Shame on you.
I should also point out, Richard, while you're near this, I should have mentioned this to Rufus as well. While you're near it, everything is quieter.
Okay. Like a nice way?
No, it's unsettling.
Okay. Well, so he's behind me, right?
Yeah, well, you sort of twisted around now that it stabbed you.
Okay, I'm just going to reach behind me, grab him as much as I can, and inflict wounds.
Ooh!
From
spicy.
No range.
Sure thing.
So I roll a 15.
That is... What are you adding to that?
I think I had 5 to that. Yeah, so 20.
Yeah. 20 hits. 15 doesn't. At which point you get to roll 3d10 damage, I think, because inflict wounds is great.
Okay. Oh dearie me, boy. That's 24.
Are you fucking kidding me?
24. 978.
Okay. Hasn't rolled a thing all night and made it in clutch.
He's Jack Bauered it, hasn't he? He's Jack Bauered it.
No,
Rich.
Add me with the antimatter and gets away with it.
Great. Rich, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, it's 18.
18? Great. You dive away from it before it explodes. Basically, yeah, it just kind of, it can't look shocked. It doesn't have a face. It staggers back for a second. There's this like point of the opposite of light, like weird more darkness on it, where you hit it with that spell, and then it just kind of like, but then there's a vacuum, and air rushes towards it for a second.
Right.
And yeah, there's a thunderclap as well. Like you can see its physical form has just. You have what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it's like you've short-circuited it. At which point, I won't lie. Matt, you're up. So you've got one thug, one wizard, and one thug who's on fire.
This thug is on fire. This thug is on fire.
So at this moment, there's just one thug left.
One thug,
and one thug who's on fire,
and one wizard.
Yeah. Well, one spellcaster of some kind. You're not quite sure.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to use a free action to put Squeaks down with the angel. Yep. So Squeaks is safe.
Cool. The angel's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Look after Squeaks. If anything happens to me, let him eat my corpse.
I want nothing to do with this. What do you do?
I'm going to target the one that's already damaged, and I know you keep calling it Fireball, but it's actually Firebolt. Paul?
Sure.
I'm going to Firebolt the one already on fire. Because you can fight fire with fire.
Nice, great.
Yeah. Rolled a 15 for that. This just lands 15.
Is that a 15 on the die?
Yeah.
So what are you adding to that?
Good question. I always forget. So it's
your charisma modifier plus 2.
A rough 20, and then it's 1d10.
1d10.
Where's my d10? And it's a 6.
6, great. Okay, this flaming guy has another little ball of fire plunge into his shoulder, and looks. If anything, it's hard to read his facial expression because of all the fire. But regardless, he has his blade is drawn, runs bodily into Claire. What is your armor class, please?
Mine.
Yeah.
It's 13, but.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks for the donations, folks. That's very kind of you. What did you ask, Ray?
It's 13. Sorry, is the firebolt coming at me or the baddie?
The bad guy.
Well, then I can use Hellish Rebuke.
You absolutely can. He's landed a hit. And Matt, what's your current armor class?
It's now 15 with the braces.
Oh shit! Then he misses you by 1. That's annoying.
We are always getting good at this.
Briony,
Yeah.
this guy runs at you, screaming incoherently, blade drawn, and stabs. Whoa! Stabs you with his longsword for what is he adding to this? 11 damage.
Why? Okay, I am close to death, but I'm still doing Hellish Rebuke as he just got me.
Sure. So, as a reaction, you cast Hellish Rebuke, which does what? I believe it sets him on fire more. How
Yeah,
much?
and it's 3d10 damage.
Can't be right, but sure.
It's on 2nd level, and it says 3d10.
Do you have any second level spell slots left? You do.
because I
You
used that
genuinely
thingy.
do. Because you used the pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, my players are getting competent.
It's only taken how many years?
Yeah, so roll 3d10 damage.
Yeah. 8 plus 2, that's 10 plus 10, 20.
Fucking hell.
And I say to... Do I get to say something to him?
You can if you wish.
Yeah. My friend thinks I'm evil. What do you think?
Ooh.
As you do, he turns into ash. Like he's immolated from the inside out by infernal flame, which is, for argument's sake, fuck it, green flame. And as you say, my friend thinks I'm evil. Do you?
I regret asking that. Nah. You're
As just
more
just like,
tasty when it's not ash.
he turns into dust and blows past you. Then the remaining thug just kind of goes, looks around, and just turns 90 degrees and runs off the edge of the cliff. And he jumps, goes like, and falls directly upwards. Then it is the turn of the wizard friend, who is going to... Let's see. Hang on 1 second. Who does he like the least?
Let me think.
I mean, in pure narrative, I don't know why I'm suggesting this, but in pure narrative terms, it's spike him from the sky.
I mean, it just seemed very obvious.
You are absolutely correct. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Can you make a... Oh, it's a spell attack. You have to make it... What's your armor class, please, Rufus?
14.
14. Cool. Well, that has hit. As he just walks over to you, taps you on the... As you're kind of on the floor, still rolling around from having gripped the glitch, taps you on the back of the head, and you take... Wow, 6, 8... No, it could have been better. You take 9 necrotic damage, which you can feel your life being sucked out of you into him.
Yeah.
At which point he turns to the group as a whole, spits something in whatever language he's saying, and just immediately just rockets upwards.
With
I'm out.
Cool. So you've passed out.
Yeah.
At which point we're effectively out of combat because the remaining 2 people involved have fled. All right.
Is Ruff out?
He's unconscious. Oh yes. Rosenstern just wanders over to him and just kicks him a little bit to see if he's moving. He's like, yeah, your buddy's. You want me to heal this guy?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
What do you mean don't? What do you think I was going to do? Kick him off the edge?
Well, I was a bit worried you started by kicking him.
Well, yeah, I want to see if he was faking. I don't know what your culture's like.
Well, could you heal him, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll just call on my own power. And he reaches down and heals you for 17 hit points. No, I had his wisdom to this. 20 hit points.
Hey.
Just to ask, because I'm on like 2 hit points, I don't suppose you got any spare healing?
Sure.
Could we maybe get a group healing?
Actually, you know what? Yes. But here's a fun plan. Before you guys go off into the wild blue, seeing as we kind of owe you for saving us from that frost giant, and we're not quite even because you also dealt with those guys. Why don't you folks just have like an actual night's sleep? Because you look crazy tired, and we'll keep an eye on you.
That would be.
That would be amazing.
Cool. You want to camp out here or get inside that blood orb? Again, I don't know your culture.
Let's stay here. The stars will be nice, if there are stars on this plane.
Nope. Also, not really any night. This is as dark as it gets.
Oh. Well, then let's just put the road
Isn't it weird that there's no sun? Is that weird? Freaking out? Is it freaking out?
Yeah, it really is
I
freaking
quite
out.
like it myself.
Hang on, Paul.
Yep.
When I come to,
Yes.
can I see that wizard pinging off into the distance, or is he gone?
You can make out what might be that wizard, yes.
Right, I imagine that way's down.
No. This is why sometimes we need to keep him unconscious.
Okay. Have you had 2 consecutive successes yet?
Yeah.
At which point, great, you just ping directly up into the sky.
Yeah.
So,
actually,
hang on for a second. I will say this: there has been a bit of conversation there, so you wouldn't have done that. You can't have done that immediately.
No, that's why I'm asking. I'm imagining basically, right? I got hit with that necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Passed out.
Yeah.
He healed me. I'm sort of like blearily, like moments ago, I was basically dead.
Yes.
So, however long that's taken, that's the only reason I asked you when I come to.
Yeah.
And look around. Can I see where the wizard is?
What's it? Then make a perception check. See if you can clock him.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you bardic inspiration for that, Raph.
What was that? 15?
16.
16. I mean, it doesn't help me out at all, but yeah, you can see him.
Okay, I imagine that way's down.
Great.
And now, I just want, over the next minute, everyone do what they're doing, or come with, or whatever, but over the course of that minute, I'm judging whether or not there's any way I can move myself or my body to gain ground, and if after a minute I know I'm not getting any closer, then I'll imagine the other way's down and fly black.
No, because you've both hit what is functionally terminal velocity.
Fine. So for the next 2 minutes, essentially, I'm
make
gone.
a perception. Well, make another perception check for me, please. Thanks for subbing.
8.
8. Grand. In which case you don't. Okay, there's a thing you don't see.
Lovely.
Great. And so yes, after a couple of minutes, rough superhero landings onto this moat of earth you're floating on.
And simply with the word bastard.
Paul?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Is there any remains of anyone we fought?
There's dust.
Is there anything meaty?
No, not really. Because everyone's been immolated by everyone's either discorporated or been immolated by incredibly magical flame.
I look at Phillin's face and I know exactly what he wants, and I hand him some of the pate so he can give it to Squeaks.
Oh no, I'm gonna teach Squeaks the word noms to associate with eating baddies. So when he's big, it's gonna be my Dracaris, hopefully.
Right. Lovely stuff.
Very good.
And so, as the party starts to bed down for the night, on a floating sort of what's the word I'm looking for? A floating spire of earth in the middle of an infinite sea of sky, accompanied by two genuinely insane people who have offered to look after them for the evening.
Oh, by the way, when I bed down, I do two things.
Yep.
I don't stay on the outside, I go on the inside, but I imagine the ceiling is down.
Right.
So that I'm not lying in
blood.
Play.
Yeah.
And I clutch the battle axe of warning, which, if we're asleep and bad guys are coming, will wake me up.
Yep. Rich, what precautions would you like to take before you go to sleep?
All I'd like to do is just roll over with my back to Claire. And my shield. Yeah, just very passive aggressive.
Nice. What's your pass-ag modifier, Rich?
Let me just check. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Matt and Briony, any preps for when you do sleeping?
Go on, you go first.
I notice what Rev's done, and I try and cry quietly so I don't wake the others.
I probably, using my new skills with gravity, just run in circles around the room until I'm really pooped. And then I find it really funny to find a position that looks upside down to everyone else. And I try and sleep so I look like a bat hanging upside down. But in reality, to me, I'm just standing up trying to sleep. So eventually I get too tired and just curl in a ball like a dog.
Please at my feet.
All right. And so night passes, and that's a reasonable jumping off point for this session, I think. We'll pick it up when you guys wake up. Everyone can have a long rest, and I think it's entirely appropriate to say that, considering this is your first jaunt into the plains, we're a little bit... Maybe one session early, but screw it. I think you can all quite happily ding up to level 5.
Yes.
Is that because we understood some of the rules, Paul?
It is. It's because I'm a big proponent of role playing XP, and we've had some really great RP this session. I'm very excited for you guys to dig more into the. It turns out shared history of Claire and the Reverend. And also very exciting. It's very exciting to watch Ruff deal with the fact that his entire worldview is completely unapplicable, and also discover that Phillin has a worldview that is weirdly well suited to this environment. But I think it certainly means any spellcasters now have access to level 3 spells, which is potentially lethal for everybody, including yourselves.
Responsible though, Paul.
I get an extra attack and fast movement.
You do. Level 5 is a very level 5 is a universally interesting level for pretty much every class. So I look forward to you guys destroying the elemental plane of air next session. And that's the end of part 3. What a surprisingly emotional ending to a session so full of nonsense. Well, as the party clearly has some things to work out, they take a long rest, and why don't we all do the same? Next video will be up in a couple of days, but until then, please like and subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and let us know in the comments if you're enjoying the show. And if you're not, how have you gotten this far? Treat yourself. Do something you like. Either way, we'll see you next time round. Have a great day. Bye-bye, friends. There it is.